maker, a life untold. Stories rewritten, but never grown old. We carry the echoes of battles before. Blades in our hands, but fate keeps the score. Who pulls the strings? Who holds the key? The gods are watching the old school 3. We're lost in the echoes, caught in the tide. Worlds keep on shifting, but we're still inside. 3 brave and lost heroes, torn in two, fighting for answers they never knew. Riftwardens whisper, the black fire burns. Prophecies written in lessons unlearned. Mythic born power from lives we once led. But why do we rise when we should be dead? We dance in the shadows, fate calls our name. 3 gods are playing their infinite game. Who holds the strings? Who holds the key? The gods are watching the old school 3. We're lost in the echoes, caught in the tide. Worlds keep on shifting, but we're still inside. 3 brave and lost heroes, torn in two, fighting for answers they never knew. We've seen these faces, we've walked these roads, but time resets and the cycle goes. Are we the players, or are we the pawns? Trapped in the story, but still moving on. We're lost in the echoes, caught in the tide. Bound to the wheel, but we stand with pride. 3 brave and lost heroes, torn in two. We'll break the cycle, or see it renewed.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in, one and all, to the next and newest and latest installment of the Old School 3. It is a tabletop RPG set in the world of Galarian Pathfinder First Edition system. We welcome you all in here. We've got officially first is Zine and unofficially first Rockheim. Unofficially first. Both of you guys right here with us. Hello, Sage and Eggs. Welcoming in Rolana Halo. Hello there, everybody. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you've all had a great day. We will be doing some of this right here. You see next to me, you will see some Riftopia. We're going to get that going here in just a bit. But I do want to get kind of the show started, talk a little bit about the show, and get my window up that has my show notes, my previous show write-up, my recap off my window, off my screen, so I don't have to look at one less thing for me to have up, and then we can get to the Riftopia and continue on as well. Of course, this campaign is set in a tied-in world where it's the story is connected to all of the other previous incarnations of ourselves, and that's the quick version of it. I feel like I should just have like a website link somewhere where it's just like, here's the backstory, go check it out. So I feel like I'm repeating myself all the time, which I of course am. The party is made up of Nick, Brian, and Matt, played by Nick, Brian, and Matt. You can see what classes we are playing on there. We have different things. This is a mythical game. It is set to be mythical. The idea from its inception was to get mythic points a little bit quicker than we divvy out levels. And I know since the inception of this idea, others have there have been other games that have been doing that as well. So it's a cool idea, and I look forward to seeing where it goes. And we may or may not be getting close to that next mythic tier. Yay, Nick, Brian, and Matt. Yes, Sage and Eggs. Yes, the core, the originators of the, I want to say it's like the 3 longest reigning RPG experienced players in our local community, I believe, is the 3 of us. So
probably.
I would like to say that. I would like to say that. And me, of the 3 of us, me being the least years of experience, the least years compared to these 2.
Are you saying I'm old?
I'm saying we're all old, Brian. We are all.
He's just saying that he started role playing later in life.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It was high school. It was high school. None of this childhood crap.
Yeah.
We are in the world of Galarian. We are in the country of Ustalav. We are in the city, the capital city of Caliphas. That's what I heard. Get him. Well, it's called the Old School 3 for a very, very important reason. So, with that being said, let me see if I need to remind this of, Brian, let me remind you of your unerring sense of direction.
Yes.
Also, let me activate this very expensive channel point redeem as well.
Hey, Rolana Halo, you're up.
Very expensive Lord. Channel point redeem. Hello, Tux. Welcome on in. Of course, Tux joined us on a Monday for the Off the Pod show as well. So lots of cool stuff there. I worked on Minecraft yesterday. I'll be working on Minecraft tomorrow as well. So I'm going to do this recap. I'm going to close out this window. Then we will start the first Riftopia battle. And so with that being said, let us recap the last game that happened roughly 4 weeks ago. Very expensive channel points redeemed. Yes, you'll see. Coins of the Realm. Previously on the Old School 3. After arriving in the shadowed capital of Caliphas, the Old School 3 began working to secure the attendance of the Crown Prince and Countess Caliphvaso, as well as other nobles, for the upcoming wedding of Sandra Heggry. Their mission was delicate: convince powerful and prideful nobles not only to attend, but to behave and lend legitimacy to their new leadership in Carrion Hill. Their day today began by going to the lavish Majesty Hotel. Though they did not stay the night there, they made use of its fine amenities, gathering local gossip, rocking out to a new sub. Boom! 49 months. We're almost at that big 5-0. Thank you so much for the 49 months. Right up there. That might be on the record.
Brian's at 52 months. He just redeemed earlier.
Oh, I missed it. I was in the potty. They did not stay at the hotel. They made use of its fine amenities, gathering local gossip, noble perspectives, and fashion fittings all under one roof. It gave them a clear window of how the upper class of Caliphas viewed the wedding and the shifting tides of Ustalavic politics. They also used it to gain momentum in making themselves look good for the nobility. Soon after this, they went to their meeting to meet with Diaudin, the trusted advisor to the Crown Prince himself. What they believed would be an opportunity to make a good impression quickly turned into something a lot more intense. It seems Diaudin had already investigated their history, knowing of their actions not just today, but in Ustalav overall, and as well beyond Ustalav, with shocking details that they did not expect. What unfolded was a veiled...
The chat wants someone to draw a fame and fortune card.
Ooh, we will do that as soon as I finish the reading. As soon as I finish the preview. What unfolded was a veiled test, one that the party did pass. From Shy and the Golden Goddess, be careful what you wish for. Not only did Diaudin agree that the king and himself would attend the wedding, but he decided, against something he hadn't originally planned, to have the Old School 3 actually meet physically with the Crown Prince himself in a meeting later that day. As they left the meeting, Matt caught sight of a cleric of Iomade entering the White Shaw building. Whether it was divine vision or a memory pulled from his connection to the goddess, he could not be sure. But the moment lingered. It was odd the others hadn't noticed it. With time to spare before their meeting, the party turned to the Maiden's Choir Church of Pharasma, where they met again with the stern Inquisitor Marhalis. While useful and informational their meeting was with the stern priestess, it was not the thing that stands out most from their visit of that church of Pharasma, but the unexpected meeting with a gentle elderly woman that left a much greater impact. Her warmth stood stark contrast to Marhalis' edgy ego. It was only afterwards did the group realize that they had been speaking to the High Priestess herself, one of the most powerful living clerics of Pharasma. Before they parted ways, the Mother Superior gave them a true blessing, a divine ward designed specifically to protect them from undead threats. Though the blessing applied to all of them, and her words as well, it was her words that seemed to pierce Nick the most, Nick recognizing her words carried a special weight for him specifically. Across many lifetimes, vampires had haunted and harmed him, stealing away love and hope time and time again. In a city steeped with undead influence, her protection helped him feel more at ease with the things to come. They then toured the castle gardens. Again, notes of Nick's past would have haunted him, but the blessing bestowed on the party left him feeling more fortified to his past. And now, the Old School 3 prepare themselves to enter Castle Striath, where Diaudin awaits to escort them to their audience with the Crown Prince. The city watches, the undead stir, and destiny calls louder with each step. With that being said, Matt, fate approaching these steps, the fate of your past lives exists. Tell me where to stop.
I'm not muted. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work when you're muted.
Now.
Would you like the bottom of this pile or the top of this pile?
The top pile.
Oh. All right. I'm going to put that there. That's going to take place. It can't take place right this instant. Okay.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Probably.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good stuff right there. All right. We're going to go over here. We're going to start our Riftopia battle as well. You can type in !Rift or !Riftopia to get in on the Riftopia battle. It might be good. Oh, well. It's possible, but highly unlikely. I just realized I didn't set the parameters, so this is going to be a quick battle. It'll be a quick battle. So go ahead, guys. Go ahead and get your units in there. Whatever you got. I will say that it turns out that some of these ranged units are usually the ones that survive. So as long as we have some people in the front eating up to distract the combat, the range guys usually just mow through everything. So I'm not going to place all of my units. I'll place a few just because we've got a game to play. So there we go. All right. So you approach the steps. As you do so, you see... Oops, wrong buttons. You see once again Diaudin, the advisor, and would be basically the guy who knows all of the inner workings of all the shit that's happening in his country for the crown prince. Diaudin stands with his hands behind his back atop the stairs. As you approach, do you realize he's... I think the term, Matt, you said was he's the kind of guy that gets there early to see if you will.
Yeah.
Just to see if you're going to get there early. And that is very much so. He is already there. And he looks at you. He says, "Are you prepared?"
Nod.
"Then follow me. We will take quick steps. Follow them." And he turns and walks into Castle Straith. Again, Castle Straith is a gothic horror. Even looking at it, like, yes, in your past lives, you have seen shit like this before. But in the real world, this is stuff of anime legend. Like, you look at it and you're like, there is no... How in the ungodly life of anyone did they create this massive gothic terror that looms over the city of Caliphas? As you enter, seemingly through a side door that you didn't really even realize was there, you end up going like down a set of stairs, through the door to enter the building, up another set of stairs, and through some of these winding corridors and passages that you realize is meant for a lot of the people that like work there. And by work there, like, these people are... This is the person that scrubs the floors, and this is like some of the kitchen help, and there's a tool cabinet and a closet, and like... And you realize that he's taking you through a way that, unless you know where you're going, you would get lost in the maze. Even if somebody were to draw it out, you'd be looking at it and be like, where did we, there, what? And he's got no problem in like the direction he's going. He's got no problem going through and shifting a candelabra when a door opens and you go through a passage that's not there. And he's got no problem with you guys seeing it, because he knows for a fact there is very little chance of you remembering any of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except I have the uncanny direction thing.
Except for you have the uncanny direction that you got from that card last time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So 15 minutes of like walking, and it's not like he's intentionally going in circles. Brian, you know this for a fact. He is taking he's taking a quick route that probably just avoids certain checkpoints and avoids you seeing certain things or dealing with certain people, or avoids him being seen.
Okay.
He's probably one of those people that the other nobles go, "How the fuck did he get here?" sort of situation.
Sure.
Like, they both enter the building at the same time and they teleport there, and somehow he makes it there before him without magic. You know, that kind of stuff. And you end up coming into a small chambers. And when I say small, it's not grandiose. In fact, the ceiling is only about probably 7 feet high. So to you guys, it's actually kind of short. As far as what you're normally used to in the world. And it's not these grand roofed palisade type rooms. It's comfortable and it suits its purpose. And there are guards stationed outside the doors. And you walk inside and you actually see a man sitting there. He looks... If I got the right picture. Let's see if I got the right picture. It's so tiny. You see this gentleman.
Okay.
And he's sitting in, it is not plate mail, it's like a leather armor, but it's made to look, it's leather armor. It's probably magical, and it's made for both usefulness, but also it looks like he can go places as the crown prince and nobody would bat an eyelash. When you say masterwork, this, if it weren't magical, which you're guessing it is, you'd assume it is. If it weren't magical, still the price would be that of a very expensive magical item, even if it had no magic on it whatsoever, just because of the sheer quality and the money put into it.
Okay.
And he stands up and he just walks up to each of you and shakes each of your hands.
Oh.
And Diaudin says, my liege, these are the 3 gentlemen that have been sent on behalf of Lord Vanton Heggry and his daughter Sandra in regards to the upcoming nuptials. They are here as representatives to the Count of Versex.
Thank you for taking the time to meet with us.
He just nods. He's like, I'm glad you are here. Hopefully you're enjoying the city and your time here in Ustalav. And a very firm handshake, very direct. He looks you directly in the eye. There's no wavering. He doesn't look like the kind of person who's like, he doesn't avoid conflict.
Cool.
Okay.
And he says, I was told I need to meet with you and hear your say on the wedding and your personal thoughts on the situation, not what you were sent to say. He's like, I am going regardless, so I would like your true and honest input.
Look at you, Brian. Like, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'm just trying to remember what we said last time, just to remind me as Brian some of the points.
Yeah, and like, well, you know that whatever you said to Diaudin has already been passed on to the prince. He's asking you a little bit more about, like, you guys, like, you don't have to convince him. He's going, right? He's going.
Fair.
You could tell him to F off right now and he'd probably still go because he's been convinced. Mm-hmm. So he just wants your input. He wants to hear from you.
Yep.
On the situation.
Yeah, I can go. I know I guess the biggest thing, besides everything that has been said already, as far as to encourage your appearance at the wedding and what have you, truthfully for me is twofold. One, I understand when times can be troubling, that having something good happen, a celebration, what have you, sometimes it's easy to miss how big of an impact that can actually be on people and how it helps improve morale, even if the people don't necessarily see it directly, but even more as kind of like a subtext, so to speak, subconsciously, they tend to latch onto that. And Lord knows in this world, or deities, whatever, that there's plenty of horrible things that can happen in this world, and there are people that are trying to make it a better place. And I think Riley is definitely one of those people, as is his fiance and her family. And then I guess the second is just, to become more united as best you all can with the people of your country, and vice versa, to become to share, I guess, to share in that experience, and uh, build a stronger sense of your national community. And I know for me personally, it's kind of fun going to a party.
He doesn't smile, but Diaudin does smile.
I think knowing what we know about Ustalav, knowing that it borders on the once or now closed world wound, the Socorro Scar. This wedding takes place with a champion of that crusade, one of the members that helped close the world wound, as well as his companions. This wedding will bring dignitaries from many kingdoms that not only border the world wound or the scar, but probably from other areas farther away. And it would be a great place to have someone such as yourself to be a representative of this country, to show the support of the country behind one of its heroes in the face of the other lords and ladies of other great lands across Galarian, but also knowing that you are there, I'm assuming that Countess Artis will show up. And the little that I've heard, I think it is important that you're there to keep that old bat's mouth fucking shut. Nothing spoils milk like a little bit of vinegar. And if she's there and she's able to spew her hatred towards your reign, towards your family, that is nothing but souring the milk
Taking
of this
two at once
fine
is a
thing.
nightmare. Oh.
Those are my thoughts. I mean, really having you there is important to showing the favor of one of the favored families, definitely the favored daughter of County Versex, but also just to keep the peace in your own borders and keeping those that don't want to see you rise to the occasion in their place.
You guys can make a quick sense motive check.
I would be happy to.
And thank you for the bits. I seduced the old lady.
25.
Sorry, give me just oh yeah, okay. 34.
So, Matt, you kind of catch that there is a.
And actually, sorry, it should be a 36.
Okay, you kind of catch that, like, it had you wanted an effect by the way you said it.
Mm-hmm.
You got an effect. You know that much. Brian, you know that initially Diaudin is like, what the fuck? Like his eyes, you could see his eyes go like this. But then Diaudin, because he's been around, realizes that he may have underestimated you guys just a little bit. Which keeps that look on his face of shock. But then you realize also, like, there's a little crinkle on the edge of his eyes. Like, he finds a great humor in the situation, in what Matt said. Because he knows that while the prince doesn't like to play politics, he also knows that, like, this is literally a thorn that Matt just pulled out and laughed and like was like, this stupid fucking thorn, sort of thing. So like the king, the prince automatically sees that and is like, oh, so it had the effect on the prince.
Nice.
The prince then welcomes you guys to take a seat, because you're standing this whole time, and him standing like literally in regalia. You realize that the crown prince is very soldier like, very much kind of like the people you've seen at Riley's location. He is very like military mindset. But you also realize he carries a holy symbol of Pharasma as well.
I was just going to ask if he was.
Okay.
He is a Pharasmene, yes. And as he sits down, he goes, many kings, princes, nobility, when they come into their stead, it's expected and they know it's to happen. I had 2 brothers before me. You may not know this, but I was not supposed to be in this role. I was supposed to be the general of armies of Ustalav at either of my brothers' hest. But instead, I find myself in charge of Ustalav. And in that moment, at the age of 19, I immediately had to go to war. I've had 6 years of war in my first 6 years of running this country. The courts of the nobles and the shifting and the backstabbing and the bad-mouthing and the politicking almost got me in those 10 years. I don't play those games. I won't play those games. Now, the Countess of Ardis, she's understandably upset at my family. But it is not I who moved the capital, but my father. But she can't let go. And that's okay. She can continue to not let go. But I'm not going to let her spoil this country. I will be there. I just want to know from the ground. I can send as many people, and he points to Diaudin. I can only get so much information. But it's the information sometimes that I get from people like yourselves that I meet with from time to time that tell me truly how the country is and how the country needs to be met. And he goes, would you tell me you spent time on the grounds of Carrion Hill as just passers-by, correct?
Yes.
How do
Yes.
the people of Carrion Hill and the surrounding areas feel about this? The wedding, the changing of politics, the leaders being shifted. The people of Carrion Hill and the surrounding areas, what are their feelings? How do they think? Do they see it poorly? Do they see it well? Is me going there going to help in the eyes of my people?
I mean, I think overall, the majority of the people are very interested in the wedding and interest in celebrating in the wedding. Riley is, of course, an immensely well-known hero, um, and from what we've spoke with, Brian's blanking on the fiance's name.
Sandra.
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 Lady Sandra's family is are well received for the most part as well. I'm sure there are some dissenters that, I mean, there are probably a handful of dissenters that think maybe it's a trying to marry into money, but that's not the case in any way, shape, or form. Anyone who sees the two of them together
And he's got more
knows
money than
that.
she does.
Well, I'm not saying the people are smart in all of this. I'm just saying, but realistically, I think most people see it as I think as a wonderful union, especially with everything that I guess Riley and his group have done as far as improving the area too, with hosting his organization there.
Nick
And kind of
mentions, Nick speaks up and goes, and speaking and of the people, like Nick looks at the king and looks at you guys. The people, they're treating it like it's the wedding of their own, like their own kids getting married. Like every person there feels like they're the people of the city feel like they're giving away the bride, to put it in a layman's terms.
Sandra is one of them, has risen with her father's rise, and is a favored daughter of the county.
Yeah.
Her wedding will
better-
be setting records, but also fashion statements for probably what brides are to wear for years to come. If she wears blue, that will be the new wedding color this year and probably the next 5.
And the prince goes, well, I'm not much for fashion sense. It's not my thing. But if she has that much influence and the people are so behind it, how is it that I can arrive without taking away from that? Do you have suggestions on how I can arrive without drawing the attention away from the wedding?
Honestly, I
think
think you're
you'll-
looking at it. Sorry, go ahead.
I actually think I'm on your same thought. I don't think you will take away by arriving.
If
Just to
anything
ask,
else,
when were you last in County Versailles? How long has it been? Would the average person know you by sight?
He nods. And Diaudin says, yes, he goes to many of the counties often. And the king goes, I have not been to Carrion Hill in quite some time. But the county
There will
Versailles,
be many people there, many dignitaries and nobles from across many adjoining lands. There will be lots of people there to support the wedding. And I think that's all you do. You are just there to support a joining of a favored daughter and a renowned hero. You do not have to make any proclamations nor do anything extravagant. Just your presence there should be enough to show that this marriage is good for the country, more so than just those in the county.
If I may, kind of rolling in with that idea, I think you're thinking, I understand your concern, but I think you're thinking of it the wrong way. You, I'm not a politician, but if I were to sell this, so to speak, I would sell the fact that you are humbling yourself because you want to be a part of this momentous occasion. You becoming, in a sense, just one of the people to join in this celebration and give away this beloved daughter of Carrion Hill, and because, and by extension, for that matter, Ustalav in a lot of ways, to help, you know what I mean, to help bond with the people, which is ultimately, I'm guessing, your goal, just from what you've said, and you know, maybe maybe playing more of the humble aspect of it, that you, to say it's not about you and it's about them, and to help, you can help shine the light even further upon them, which not only will, I'm sure, endear them to you, which they are very helpful and powerful players within your country, which is definitely doesn't hurt to have them in your corner, but more importantly, wins the goodwill of the people.
He nods.
Because, there's only a handful of nobles, but there's hundreds of thousands of people.
This I understand.
At any rate, take with that what you will. I know you've got plenty of wise people on your council, and I motion towards a second.
Oh, I completely understand. But the people that work for me, work with me, work under me and around me are not the same as people such as yourselves.
Oh,
and Diaudin has informed me some of the reasoning why she selected you to come here. And I understand now. There is something different about the three of you. I see it, this country sees it, Pharasma sees it. Thank you for your words of wisdom.
Thank you for listening to him.
Yes, thank you very much for your time.
Is there anything here within the city that I can help with? I know you have many other things to do.
I apologize, out of character. Were there other things we were trying to accomplish in the city other than
No, the hope
convincing
was
the
to
prince?
get him to say he would go, so then we could use that to help get the other people to go.
Gotcha. Okay.
But some of those other people are in this town too, so.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I guess, are there any of the other people that's just like the names that I have is like Countess of Artis, Countess of, or Count of Varno, Amans and Ardel? Are any of them in town, or are those
Well,
part
you've
of
got the
those
Countess
different-
Caliphvaso who is here, who is actually the Countess of this town. He's the king, but
Okay.
she's the Countess of this county.
Okay.
And she is in this town as well, or residing somewhere in this country, but you were told she would be in town.
Ask him if he happens to know where she may be.
Roll a,
That's a good question.
roll a perception check.
Just Matt, or are we both rolling?
You both can roll.
$39.
Less than half that.
So Matt, Brian, you don't get much. Matt, you mentioned the Countess of Artis, who obviously has a beef with the prince, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't seem to care too much about her. Like, he knows she's got a beef with him. That's not his beef.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a beef with her. The beef that you thought he might have had with her, you realize he actually has with the Countess Caliphvaso. He does not like her, and the second you say her name, it is clearly obvious. And she's the one that's like eternal youth and eternally gorgeous and beautiful, and everybody's been wanting to get in her pants for like 80 years. That's that Countess, if you recall the.
Oh.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And he goes, I am certain that she is at her estate here in town, but be careful of her, because her words are the sharpest in the country. You will not get anything from her without something in return, and usually much more so. You would be better off making deals with devils.
Okay.
Awesome.
Good to know.
Do not let her looks and pomp and circumstance and her seeming ladylike frailty deceive you. If she can slit your throat for a dime, she will.
Thank you for those words of wisdom in dealing with her.
Words of wisdom for words of wisdom, I suppose. And he nods. I am sure she knows you are in town, and I'm sure if you request a visit with her, she will likely accept and schedule a meeting with you. Diaudin says that, by the way. Diaudin says that she likely already knows of your presence.
Yeah, unfortunately, she is on our list, and they said we would do our best. So I have a feeling we must at least entertain a meeting with her.
Yeah. Oh, and her nephew too was on the wedding list.
Okay.
That you needed to get, but you figure if you get her, you'll probably get him.
Go.
Sure.
The king goes, I do have a meeting to attend. We have to fortify some military structures, as I have agreed to send some extra forces on the behalf of Count Versex. So I need to go and have meetings with my military in order to get those numbers. Thank you again for your time, gentlemen.
Yes.
Thank you.
And he stands up and leaves with no ceremony.
I'll look towards the guy that brought us here. I'm like, are you able to escort us out, or I'm just assuming that'll be easier than wandering for an hour or so.
Yeah. He goes, yes, I will do that. And he goes, and well played, by the way. He says specifically to you, Matt, at the beginning.
Thank you.
He's like, I was quite entertained by that. I advised his father when they moved here. And we knew that she would be quite upset, and understandably so. I advised against it. And he starts walking through the corridors.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just follow.
Okay. You move through the the twists and turns. And Brian, you get a little bit more insight as to how this castle works and how to get through it. You realize, Brian, that the lofty ceilings are so much so that room you in, there could have been a room above it or below it, and it would have been
Okay.
within the scope of a normal sized room. Like,
Okay.
there is a very good possibility that there might be, when you get into rooms like that, there might be secret passages or secret areas to like lower sections that are just completely hidden, like a drop away staircase or something like that throughout the castle. And
So is that less like an official throne room and more of like a secret meeting place within the maze of stuff?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Nobody has any idea that the king has just met with you, or that the prince has just met with you, let alone that Diaudin is even in the building. And the staff, they don't even think twice at it, because he's been doing this.
Sorry.
He's been doing this since this castle existed. So he probably knows more about the layout of this castle than anyone, probably including the people who built it.
Gotcha.
So he moves through it with the greatest of ease. And you realize he's taking it's not just one secret passage. You guys go through multiples. They're all over the place. And he's not hiding it just because there are so many that even if you do find them, you're like, another secret passage. Okay.
Sure.
Until you eventually come back out and you're out in the walkway of the garden.
Okay.
And he says, best of luck to you. I can tell you that the Countess's place is not far from the Vadvani Lodge that you were staying at. It is one of the larger buildings. You probably saw it on the left-hand side as you approached the Vadvani Lodge. The big estate grounds that are there, you probably saw the building off in the distance. Those grounds is her manor.
Is it this one with like the castle wall on it, or like one of these like estates on a hill?
It's this big estate right here. The one that's twice the size of the lodge and the asylum put together. It's twice that size. Yeah, that's hers in the bottom.
Where are you pinging again?
Well, give me a second here. We go to the right thing right here.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And you literally have to go up a winding road and twist and turn to get there.
I thought that one was the... Oh, no, I see. Never mind. Okay. Yeah. I gotcha.
You continue on and you get down to the asylum. So you can see, because it's the one wing is the asylum and the other wing is the not asylum.
Sure.
Did Riftopia never... Oh no, we got 8 minutes left still. Apparently I did do a full-sized Riftopia battle. Or a full-timed one. I was like, I thought there was only 8 minutes on the board. He goes, the best of luck to you.
I show battle ready in Riftopia. Maybe you have to refresh.
And mine shows us still as like a 1 minute countdown.
Oh, weird.
Very weird. Yeah, mine says 8 minutes and 10. I'll just go into my home. And I'll go back. I'll go back in. Entering 67%.
Weird. Yeah, I try to enter and it says battle ready.
Yep. For some reason it didn't.
Oh, yeah. Now it says battle ready on mine too.
Never did the thing. There we go. We'll get the battle on and then we'll start the next one. As you guys just burn through all of the things.
Charge.
I wonder if it's one of those because it's in the background, like the countdown doesn't go, or it like pretends like it's not running.
Oh, could be.
All right. We'll enter the rift. We'll start a new one. Yeah, because I opened it up and I was like, it was only like 9 minutes, and now it's not. And now I'm running another one and didn't realize. So yeah, it was like 10 minutes. All right, we're gonna go. I might have to do like a timer on my, like a separate timer just to keep track of it. All right, people can get in there. And of course, you guys can, anybody playing can also get in on other people's, because it's, it's not like Stream Raiders where you can only do like 4. You can do as many as you want as long as you have energy and as long as you have little guys available.
Fair enough.
You could, if you have 30 guys, you could place in 30 different battles.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Apparently, I got a second tank.
Yeah, as the more you play, the more you'll unlock. And right now, the ranged guys are pretty badass to have out. So if you have ranged guys, as long as there's people on those front lines to like distract, the ranged guys will just mow through everything. All right, 8:48, and if I go away and I wait a few seconds and I go back, will it say 8:48 still? It will. Okay, so the countdown just doesn't happen when I'm off screen. So if anybody sees that the timer is up, you're just going to have to let me know when that timer ends.
Gotcha.
Give me 1 second. I got to check something quick.
No problem.
Wampa Kamalo?
A what?
Well, I was just curious. One of the monsters on your little on the Riftopia here, that Lampa Kamalo is
It's
like enormous.
So think of a llama and then an alpaca. It's a llama pacamello because it's also a marshmallow because it's a big marshmallow floof. So it's a llama alpaca marshmallow. At least that's my interpretation of it. That's my interpretation.
That sounds very much like what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
If any of the devs are in the chat, if I don't know who designed it, but I'm guessing, I'm gonna assume that the llama pacamello is a llama alpaca marshmallow.
That sounds about right.
And we get them too. You can get it as your own unit.
Oh, nice.
As you can see, I have 1 unlocked.
That's funny.
Seven-tailed Fox got all of his archers down. Seven-tailed Fox also starting a Tangier dungeon! Exclamation mark join to join that dungeon.
So you don't have to set your guys in your little blue zone there. You can set them wherever you want, right?
Set them wherever you want. So if you see something and you're like, oh, I can place this over there. Yeah, you can place it anywhere on the map as long as it's not in the grayed in area or in the red area. So like if you see some ranged units off on the side and you're like, oh man, I could throw a rogue here and I could burn through all those bad guy ranged units. You could totally do that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's no limitations. There's no limitations like Stream Raiders.
I'm going to add a fellow rogue in the corner.
Yeah.
For shits and giggles.
And is it kill everything on the map, basically? Or
Yep, kill all the bad guys for now.
Okay.
And again, this is just the playtest. This isn't even beta. It's just the playtest.
Cool.
All my peeps are on the map.
All your peeps. So yeah, you get out and the Diaudin, well, I've been pronouncing it wrong this entire time. It's Diaudin, not Duodin. Diaudin bows to you and says, it's been great meeting with you. I hope to see you again, if not at the wedding, then at some other point in the future, and I look forward to hearing of your travels.
Then we'll search you out at the wedding so that we can have time to drink and tell tales.
He nods. And he turns.
All right.
And he.
All right, gentlemen.
leaves.
I guess it's off to see a harpy. I mean, Duchess.
Countess.
Countess, Duchess.
Yeah.
I should probably know better.
And she, in fact, I'm just going to warn you ahead of time, looking at her as written, as book statted, she could probably she could probably solo the group.
Damn.
Well, shit.
She wouldn't. And you guys have, well, maybe not. You guys have mythic point, but she's got some she's high level. She in fact is higher level than the prince.
Oh wow.
But of course,
Damn.
you got to keep
Okay.
in mind also, she's like 80, 90 years old as a human.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right.
Good thing I'm not a cougar hunter.
Oh, yeah. Again, she looks like she's like 25, 30, so. Who knows the story? But you guys know, you understand that how old she is, and you've heard multiple times that she is known as one of the most beautiful women in Ustalav.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, like, there's no hiding there. You guys know there's something going on there. There's the world does. It's just that nobody talks about it because, well, nobody wants to talk about it. They don't want to go disappearing from the world.
Hey, the Sun Orchid Elixir is a thing. She's a rich noble lady.
That
Yeah,
is-
I'm sure that's how she did it.
Yep.
Yep. Totally that's a thing. Yep.
Well, I mean, any high level alchemist can make it, really, by the rules. Like, if you get high enough level, you just take that
That's-
discovery. It's a major discovery.
That's true. That's true.
That being said, you are at the foot of the capital. You are not any longer on a time crunch. It is about 3 in the afternoon,
Yep.
maybe 4-ish, 3 or 4-ish in the afternoon, because that took about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
hour and a half. Hot grandma, she's a monk. Oh, that could be, you never know. A druid, maybe? Who knows? Monk, druid, wizard, sorcerer.
Just has had a disguise and has been using the same disguise for the last 75
Or,
years.
yeah, had a disguise. Just an illusion. Nobody knows. She's a vampire.
Yeah.
All true rumors.
She's Tom Cruise with one of those face masks.
Yeah.
And
that's...
you guys are sitting there, and Matt, you get a kid and his mom like are just staring at you from across the road.
Okay.
And there's like chatter amongst them. And there's other people, and they seem to have like there's a handful of people that are just kind of watching you guys.
I'm guessing this has to do with the card.
I pulled Tango out of his Pokeball.
And as soon as you do, they start whispering.
And I'm like, hey Tango, time to use your trick. Let's see if they care about me or something truly exotic. And Tango sprouts wings and takes off into the air.
Okay.
And I want to see if they follow a tango or they're still looking at me whispering.
Both. They do both.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start the Tangia battle, and then the next one I'll put on an actual 30-minute timer. Yeah, both. You can also roll your perception.
I would love to do that.
Is this primarily just Matt rolling?
No, you can roll.
Right,
you can roll as well. You can roll as well.
Okay.
30.
I got a 15. So again, less than half of what he rolled.
Matt, you hear them. They're saying they're talking about you hear them saying something about you guys being Pathfinders, but they're calling you the Pathfinders. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I hear the one that nobody can ever remember his name. He's got like mechanical things like that." And you actually end up seeing like one of the guys like a guy comes forward, and he looks like a merchant, and he's like, "You wouldn't by chance happen to be Pathfinders, would you?"
Sense motive. 36.
He has a job of some sort, or a favor to ask, or something along those lines, but he needs your help with something.
Okay, needing help, not he's sent by the Aspis Consortium to kill us.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, we are Pathfinders.
He goes, my uncle has an old noble property not far from here. And he and his family's vast wealths were lost. And something crashed the entire estate. They don't know what it is, and they think there's something underground. And our family would gladly reward yourself or the Pathfinders with anything that could be found there, as long as we could find out what happened to the estate. We've heard that. Well, we've heard of your group before. We know you're friends with the hero in Carrion Hill.
Yes.
This is so bad. Well, we knew that we needed powerful people to take care of this situation, and we've heard that you guys are capable of that. Our family and the others could be restored to nobility and help the country if this could be discovered and figured out.
Well, can you write down the information of where this place is and maybe like the family name, whatever, so we can do a little bit of research before we go out?
Oh, of course. And he goes, who are the? He's a little embarrassed, and he's like, we know one of you is not Mordock.
No, we have had many dealings with him though in our past. As
So
the guy's
he's
talking,
like, but you guys, and he goes, but you neither of you two, you guys don't look like wizards, so you can't be. Oh, one of you must be okay. This is the exact words he says, because he seems kind of confused, but not so much.
Does
Question
he have
for
a
you.
signet ring on?
He does, and it's kind of old and looks very old and tarnished and not well kept.
That's super fine.
May
A
I ask
31
who
knowledge
you-
nobility to be like, yes, you must be family blah, based off his signet ring.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your knowledge nobility.
It's a 31. I'm spending.
Yes.
Damn. Just curious, which one of us do you think is Mordock?
Oh, I don't think any of you is Mordock, but I couldn't place which others from your party we recognized. Like we know this one is the one that nobody can ever remember his name, but he always has like the clockwork beasts and creatures, but we weren't sure like if one of you was Penrod, but you don't look like a wizard, so we weren't quite sure, but we're pretty sure like, and he points to Nick, that must be Thayan, but we didn't know Thayan had a tiger. But we're so glad that you can help us out with this.
And in hand sign, I just go, remember Ghostbusters. If someone asks if you're a god, what do you say?
You get the and Brian does a face palm,
and you see the crowd that was watching
of a sigh.
You realize the crowd that was watching was like mostly family members of his, and they all have come closer, and like the little kids, their eyes are like, oh my gosh, we can get out of the hovel and we can reclaim our noble. Like they're all very like hopeful that you, the heroes, the Pathfinder heroes, can help with this task.
I guess I look over at you two and just kind of shrug.
I'm sure we're up to the task.
Orlana Halo's gonna get you guys killed.
Yep.
So yeah, he gives you the location of the place.
Okay.
It's like an old swampy area that's like in the middle of nowhere on your map. And he's like, oh shit, LOL. Yeah, it's you get tasked with a job by people who think you're somebody else, and it they treat you with exaggerated respect, and you also get work as if you are twice your level.
All right.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
And I'm like, well, who's twice their level that's fairly famous? I'm like, well, we'll just make it easy.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
I see this not killing us at all.
No. And yeah, they double the experience, double the death.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after we get that, like, I'm assuming they like kind of, or yeah, figure out where we can meet them once we have the information. And then I guess like we head back.
They just give you the information. You just go clear it. They assume that you're going to go find out what it is, and they after you're done, you mean?
Yeah.
They tell you where
do
they're
we
staying.
find them?
Yeah, they're staying. They've got a small home here in
Okay.
town that they're all kind of cramped in.
Well, that works. So yeah, as we walk away, I'm like, well, this sounds a lot more fun than meeting up with the Countess. I mean, at least for like a little break. Like a woman's who will stab us for a silver piece feels a lot more threatening than seeing what happened to someone's house.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Like we haven't sent out a formal request for invitation or anything, right?
For
Correct.
her? Yeah.
For her?
Correct. Like she has an
Even though
invitation. She has an invitation to the wedding. Like everybody's got an invitation to the wedding that you're going to see, but your job is to get them to go and play nice. I feel like Matt just Uno reversed the GM. This is all on you, Orlana Halo. You're the one that redeemed this. What happened to the old school 3? Well, they took on a mission and they all died. And what happened? Well, because Orlana Halo made them do it.
You don't know to run away from a mission until you see what it is.
That is entirely true.
And hopefully you have enough time to recognize it and leave before you die.
Yeah, it's a scouting mission. We're just seeing what crashed into the town or into the house.
Yeah, aggressive reconnaissance.
Matt
Yeah,
told me
totally.
to, LOL. Well, at least we'll have some extra days to do mechanical corners and maybe some more Call of Cthulhu days.
Yeah.
No, then we just make our next set of old school 3 people up in like GURPS or something.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, they
Or
wouldn't be the
Dragon
first.
Bane.
They wouldn't be the first characters from this series that we've played ourselves that have died.
We'll do Dragonbane, and I'll make up a rabbit person or something.
There you go. Sure.
We'll call
We
it
can make
Shy,
that work.
Frigga, and Sakura to raise you. It's true, or Sephi. Sephi would have to come over
Yeah.
from the other world.
That means stuff has gone terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Did you do your Riftopia battle?
No, it's at 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I
I did.
was
I
just
did.
checking.
Yes, I ran it, and then I set up the next one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can go. Everybody can go and claim their prizes, and then go back and whatever. And yeah, so there is a new one, guys. So make sure to leave and come back.
How do you claim your prizes?
So you go where my name is in the little thing, and there's going to be a little chest next to it. You'll click
In the
on
book.
the chest in the book.
Oh. Awesome.
And in the lobby there's a lot of little hidden secrets. So like if you click on things, you'll get some things you won't, but some things will have pop up. Some things will just move. But you can, if you find it, you'll find that there is a puzzle in the room, and the puzzle has multiple answers.
Ooh, I got more peeps.
Yep, you'll unlock lots of people's, lots of skins, stuff like that.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm like, how are people getting like more people? Oh,
Yeah,
rewards.
You got to claim the rewards.
Yeah.
That's what I did not realize.
And they don't know what the points are for yet. There's points in the upper right-hand corner, and they haven't announced what they're going to be used for yet. My guess is that it's going to be used to level up characters. That's my guess,
That would make sense.
but I don't know. So, what do you choose to do as the family kind of goes off? They talk to people along the way, and every once in a while, like they'll say something, they'll point your guys' way, and there will be whispers.
Sure.
Do we know how long it is to get out to that place?
It's like a day trip
Okay,
by horse or
that's
cart.
not bad.
No. Because
I'll
for
look at
most
you
people,
on
a
the-
day travel is, maybe a day and a half, but like that's a long time because most people are doing that
Yep.
by foot.
Yeah, and we have access to a cart,
Right.
and we each have a person to bring along.
Correct.
So like we're a party of 6 plus a transporter.
Right.
I think we go part way out, camp the night, finish our trek, check out this thing, and then we come back in 2 days and we talk to that 80-year-old beauty queen.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Because Nick, I know you've been wanting to run some sandbox, so
I don't know about wanting to. I've just been giving you more sandbox opportunities as far as exploring the cities during the course of the adventure. But yeah, that's fine with that.
this is super card box.
Super card box, yes. You could leave
I like
people
to
to make
play
appointments
easy
with the nobles.
mode.
That's true. You could leave people behind. I did specify if you leave them behind, you don't get the boons. But you can have them do other tasks and leave the group.
Right.
And they are, like, you literally picked the perfect people to set those appointments.
Mhm. True, we could leave them here to set the appointments. That's probably good.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Yep.
Or you could bring them with for the adventure.
I think it would make more sense to at least have Jay in here setting up our appointments and stuff.
Okay.
Well, and
that's like
Winston
what
too, for
he's
that matter.
for.
Yeah, Winston is also for that.
Winston's also pretty good for
Like
that.
Winston is literally he's the
kind of Riley's seneschal kind of thing.
What's in the movie The Knight's Tale, his herald. He's like, his job, he literally is the herald of the mercenary guild.
Oh
Yeah. He's a talker.
Like Jay is also a talker, just in the slimy, he's the Joe Pesci of the group, as opposed to
he's the used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll leave Jay.
Okay.
I'll leave Winston as well.
So the used car salesman and the herald get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Nick will bring Andalek, because Andalek is like, he trains military. Like, he's part of the military training crew. Even though he's more of a thug fighter type, he will come with. And you'll of course have the other,
our transporter.
Yeah, I forget his name off the top of my head. Which is funny because he's a character that I really loved making, and he's hilarious. And he's got that, that cute little personality, that little gnome personality. All right. So you start making your way out of town.
We are taking a lot of this off of faith.
They seem to need. I sense motive.
I know, but we were just making jokes about vampires and other things that go bump in the night. And we know that this country in particular has a higher percentage than most when it comes to things that go bump in the night. So I'm just saying, if we get turned into a bunch of vampire spawn, I told you so. Just throwing that out there.
I'll accept that.
Fair enough. So you make your way out, and you aren't hindered so much. In fact, there's a place that you guys are coming upon on the road as nightfall starts to happen, and you're kind of looking for a place to camp. And it's after you guys pass through that you look back and you realize, oh, there were people in those trees. And like bandit type people. But they just completely were like, yeah, they just left you guys completely alone.
Nice.
For whatever reason, they left you alone. And luckily,
I guess if maybe not, the family wasn't the only ones that mistook us.
Oh,
that would be hilarious.
Luckily for you, finding it's weird because it's it's in this, out in this area, it's in a swamp. There's a point at which there's no roads, but somehow it's Brian's here, just let me take the reins, and Brian just guides you. He's looks at the map, it's yeah, it's this way, and the rest of you are what the actual F? There is no way, but he just seems to know exactly which way. You guys, he's seen the map. He kind of knows the area. He knows exactly. He's oh yeah, it's 3.7 miles that way, and then 2 turns southwest is where the road is, after this tree and that rock. And
love it.
And let's be honest, Matt. You and I, we see this from Brian, and we're where's Brian, and what have you done with him? Are you the vampire?
Brian has no ranks in survival. Just throwing that out there.
Exactly. You're muted, Matt.
I am super shit with survival as well.
Yeah. And Nick's fine, but Nick's just like, looks good to me. Like he's not putting a bunch of work into it, but like there've been a few times now where Brian's just like, oh yeah, it's this way and that way and whatever, and everybody else is like, what? And like he was the most calm in the maze, and there are a few times where Brian like turned before Diaudin got there to show us which way, and it's like, what? How did he know?
I think his brain is just catching up from forgetting things so much.
Oh yeah, yeah,
His precognition
that's right.
as it's trying to fast forward.
I mean, that's the most logical thing I think that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Just doing something real quick, a little, little by the fly. Hello, Matt, Brian, Nick, and chat. Sorry, I'm late. I'm playing Lego Harry Potters. You're
Nice.
just getting on Deathly Hallows, huh?
Nothing.
Well, Nick, if you like, would this be a good time to do like a little break while you're figuring out what to grab, and then we can like refuel drinks and use the bathroom and whatnot?
I mean, we can. I just needed one little thing, and I'm already done with it. So.
Oh, okay.
Boom. But we can take a break. We can take a break.
I wouldn't mind a little bathroom break, to be honest.
Nothing tra-la-la. Yeah, let's do it. Let's break.
Awesome.
We will break, guys. Make sure to get your Riftopia units in. And we will come back after the break, and we will continue with the shenanigans that's called Rolana Halo gives us a side quest. A side quest of death. So we'll be back. There's 9 minutes left on the map, and we'll leave you with Pedro. All right, we'll be right back.
Doesn't look like it on our side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. He's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
Kill.
All right, Majenko flies over. Labrisa, I've got you.
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
I am sorry. I am trying to be helping, but
What happened to Trinia?
she just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those rays and she disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Must come back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big
Okay.
jockey hug.
Okay.
This is not the time!
So you see that guy shows up and swings at you, and it scrapes across your armor as you cast your spell.
Go. Mithril breastplate, bitch.
Glad y'all came to our hootenanny. Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. No, get her 2 ales on me.
Ow!
The
Oh my god.
The
Why
croaky
not?
bartender
I just
comes
gonna
back
just start
and sets
drinking.
2 mugs.
You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room and their responses, regardless of what his answer is.
As in, he's concerned about what his response will be because of the people in the room.
Yes.
I kill everybody else in the room. It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tindalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks.
He just side eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, "Of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose."
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Jungle boogie.
Doesn't look like it on our side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. He's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
You killed.
All right, Majenko flies over. Labrisa, I've got you.
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
Oh.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Congratulations, Shauna's James Bond, for joining the Pokemon community game. You get on in there. You can also use. I don't think I have the panel active. Now that I think about it, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I think I got Ember Veil up right now. When we do Pokemon again, I'll get that panel up there. It's weird because Twitch only gives us 4 panels or 3 panels, and I need 4. Between Ember Veil and all of that, so do what I can. But yeah, I see it. I don't hear it. I see it. Or did it play on the break? Maybe it played on the break.
Which one?
Did you just do the?
I did, but I think it was just before we jumped back in.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to play it.
If I can find it. There it is. We will replay it. The dance emotes ones. Everybody who's got dance emotes, play those dance emotes. Get them in there. If you so should choose. It is time for the dance break. It's a long dance one, too. Thank you guys for the dance break and the all the things. So the night approaches. And you guys are actually have a fairly eventless night in the forest. There's something to be said about knowing the dangers and being prepared. But at the same time, like, you guys are almost regimented in this. You've been hunted by T-Rexes, for crying out loud. In forest jungles. You have run through the Mwangi expanse on foot. You have sailed the seas with some of the worst beings out there. And that's just in this lifetime. That doesn't include other lifetimes.
Very true.
So as the time progresses, it's you just kind of fall into old habits. Whether it's old habits from here or old habits from centuries and lifetimes ago. And the night passes without incident.
Cool.
You eventually get to the point where you have to get off the cart. There is no clearing. It's swamp. And you have to trudge sometimes through knee-deep muck. Or in Brian's case, he just flies from treetop to treetop, kind of watching out and scouting ahead. And Brian, I would like you to make a perception check.
Rolling about as good as I have been with perception the whole night so far, which is to say, not great. I got like a 13.
All right. So, I would like to say that you get lost from the party, but you don't. Because you can't. You unerringly find your way back, but you don't see a whole hell of a lot in your scouting out there. You don't see anything. The wind is howling. It's kind of raining, so it's like your visual is blocked. So you yourself, you know that you didn't see anything. You also know that if there was something, you probably wouldn't have seen it.
Gotcha.
And you can return that as you get back to Matt and Nick and Andalek and your gnome friend. Which I don't even have his character. I thought I did.
Who, Winston?
No, the guy taking care of the cart.
Oh, gotcha.
Quinston,
that's right. Quinston. That's why I was oh, there he is. Quinston, Twinklefoot. Not Winston, but Winston with a Q.
Yes, Quinston.
And Riftopia, I'm going to start that battle, by the way. So what do you guys, you're getting closer to the lands that this area would be in, because obviously like a map is kind of zoomed out, so finding the exact location not super easy, but you find the lands that are in the area that were owned by this once noble family.
Okay. Oh, pardon me. Well, once we've kind of identified that we are on their land, I guess then I will maybe do a high-end search just to see if I can find the estate.
All right. You can certainly give it
and
a
kind
go.
of circle around and
do you
give
do
it a
anything to
shot
kind of
anyway.
help yourself with that, with your roll? Or are you just hoping for, a decent roll?
Well, let's see. What can I do to help myself with that roll?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see what I can maybe do to help.
Honestly, I don't know as there's much I can do to. Yeah, I don't really have any spells that help with that so much.
Yeah, neither do I, unfortunately.
I mean, I could sing a few rounds of Rage Song to get sent, but I don't think that's going to help me as much when I'm flying up high in the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, do you want to continue to try that, or do you want to, like, have somebody else scout? Knowing that your ability to, like, notice things isn't necessarily
I'm
always
not
the best.
Horrible. I just rolled bad.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference.
Could your imp help you?
Probably, yeah.
He can certainly
I
fly.
don't know. I don't know if his stuff is better than or not.
Well, it would at least give him you multiple rolls, because he could just go with and also scout. Or he could aid another.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? I'll call up Visage. Hey, Visage, buddy.
Yeah, he's with you. He hasn't left, remember? He's a little dog.
Oh.
He's a little devil corgi with a giant eerie grin.
You wanna join me up in the air? We can take a look around, see if we can find this place.
Sure.
All right. Well, let us go search.
Yeah. This place is creepy.
So if he's
I love it.
aiding me, then I get a plus 13 to my roll. So then
oh my lord.
So you aid him.
Yep. Totally aiding him, which admittedly he's only one higher than me, so of course. So he got a 27.
So that's a 29 with an aid?
No, that's with the aid.
Okay.
Yeah. He's actually got a plus 12. I've got like a plus 11 with my eye
So you're kind of flying, and you like land on a tree, and he lands like he's on your shoulder, and he's like, he grabs your ear and he tugs it, and he tugs it a bit, and you're like, "What are you?" And he puts this little claw over your mouth.
Okay.
And he points. And over the horizon, you see a couple things, and one of them you think it's like a water mill, and you realize that it's not like a big water mill. You realize it's attached to something else. Check your personal message.
Oh my.
A water wheel. You only see that much of it, but you recognize its scope.
Is it the size of like a mill, like a water wheel mill?
Oh, the one part on there that looks like a water mill is the size of a water mill.
Oh, so it's much
and there's multiple of them.
Bigger, yeah. I'll fly back to the group and
you could make a knowledge arcane or engineering. I would allow a knowledge engineering too.
They're both basically the same for me. Which would be let's see, 11, so it'd be a 21.
Yeah, it's just some sort of massive machine.
Hey guys, I saw something, and like a big kaiju-esque construct, we're gonna need a bigger gun.
Oh,
I'm gonna need a bigger gun, like a cannon, like several cannons.
How close?
As you get as you're sitting there talking to them, like you realize what you thought you heard was like creaking trees, and you realize that it's like the creaking gears in the background sound. And it's not the rain and the wind that's making the whizzing and the creaking sound. That's not the storm and the weather at all, Brian. That's it in the distance.
So that noise is it. I believe it's slowly approaching this way. Or at least very active, and it is humongous.
When I say water wheel, picture the water wheel at the Renaissance Festival. So, it's like 8 feet. The wheel is 8 feet. So it's not like a windmill, but it's like a water wheel that would run a mill, like at the Renaissance Festival. So the creature's probably like huge or whatever one step above huge was.
Maybe gargantuan.
Yeah, gargantuan. It is not colossal.
It's a big one.
You're thinking colossal. It's not colossal, but it's either like huge or gargantuan in size.
Could I? Is there any tree or anything that I could try to climb up enough and then use the
spyglass?
Spyglass to get a view?
Sure can. So I was wondering if you were gonna have Brian use the spyglass when I asked if you're gonna try and get anything to help you. It's like maybe somebody might use the spyglass.
We do have one.
Yep. So Matt, you will get a +2, I believe, on your roll.
It just removes the penalties for far distance. It doesn't give you any bonuses to the roll.
Right.
But I did get a 40.
Dear Lord.
That's a cool picture.
So you see that, but you only see it from about the middle of the head up, as a lot of it looks like it's kind of like either buried or below the horizon. But you do realize that there are more than one, and they are active.
Oh.
Like they're moving. Their heads are moving around, but they're like, maybe it's because they're in a swampy area and maybe they're in the water. You don't really know, but...
You said there's more than one?
Yeah.
What type of knowledge to try to figure out what
either an arcane or an engineering? And they do look on the bright side. Well, I'll let you do either, but I will also let you roll an engineering first, not to identify them.
Okay. I spend an inspiration point. It's a 31.
All right. On the bright side, they do look damaged.
Okay.
Now you can roll either an engineering or a knowledge arcane. Knowledge arcane is actually the one you probably want more.
I'm going to do arcane.
Yeah, that's going to be the lower DC.
I'm going to spend another inspiration to get a 20 on my D20 roll. 41.
These are what are known as automatons. They're huge constructs. You realize that the 3 of these are... One alone is really rare. To have 3 of them, very, very uncommon. These might be... They're very rare. They're really hard. Like alone, one of them is not so much. You do know that these are known as a master a master automaton. You can know. Oh, I'm trying to remember how the DCs work for these.
It's normally 10 plus CR. If they're rare, it goes to 15.
Right. So you know one thing about them.
So knowing that they're automatons, so I get to know like type, subtype.
Yeah, construct,
if they have
automaton,
like an inherent alignment.
Automaton, huge or gargantuan. They can be bigger. They can be made bigger.
Damage reduction.
Burr, burr, burr. I don't actually see a damage reduction because they're immune to goddamn everything. I will let you pick something else because I do not see damage reduction on the list. So you'll get that for free. Cool. Oh, that's why they. Oh God, that's why they have that. Don't have.
Oh, do they have hardness instead?
No, they have fast healing of super high.
Oh, so they gave a fast healing rather than a DR.
Yeah. Not that you know that.
Yeah. No, I'll take that as my thing. Like, what's their defensive thing that keeps them up?
They So a master automaton is able to reconstruct its body if it's just completely destroyed. Master automaton's core uses its energy to rebuild the automaton's body over a span of 1d10 days. If the core is located in Axis, it's super easy. It also has a fast healing of 20, and they have just under 400 hit points.
Wow.
Which gives you a scope of how powerful they are.
Yep. I will share that information with all of you. And be like, which one of you has that a way to contact? Don't we have a way to contact Riley or Dexter?
Yes, you have a way to contact both of them.
I can even cast us.
Can you do ascending?
No, I can't. Now that I say that, no, I cannot. Well, I don't. If we were giving a scroll or an object to do it, then I can. Otherwise, no. Well, what level is sending in Pathfinder?
You were given a couple scrolls to be able to contact either Vanton or Riley.
Okay, so then in that sense, yes.
I believe. So, I mean, you guys have scrolls. I think you were given 3 scrolls.
It is a level 4 spell, Brian.
Okay, so in and of myself, I can't do it, but with the scroll, I can.
Okay.
Because I'm maxed out at 3rd level spells for myself.
Yep. So I think because there are 3 of them, it is probably beyond what we can tackle. But we do have access to other Pathfinders. I think if we could get a hold of Dexter or Riley and have them contact Devlin, he and the Dark Archives might be able to work with these constructs to try to take them out. Complete side note, I have a game I'm running Sunday, and this makes perfect baddies.
Yeah, it's great. They're CR20, but they're damaged, so they're supposed to be. They would be within the range of
15 to 16s.
Yeah.
Cool. Just send me a message with their name so I can prep my adventure. But yeah, I say like this is beyond what we can do, but we can still get a message to the Pathfinders to do it to help these people out.
Yeah. And
That
Nick
works.
nods and agrees and is like, I'm glad I don't see what you're talking about, but if it's that freaking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling pretty nervous about that. So
and
I'm
knowing
glad.
that they're damaged, you know that means that their cores are also damaged because
Yep.
they can't repair themselves if their cores aren't fully whatever. So
I like it. Yeah, I think we just go back, report, get good directions. Like I think Brian, you can do better directions than we had on that map for how Devlin and his crew can get back here. And then
Yes, in fact.
I mean, and
I'm gonna
like, who do you message? Dexter or Riley? Or Devlin?
Honestly, I would think not Riley, just because Riley's got enough stuff going on getting ready for the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably, I mean, Dexter's who we've really had probably the most contact with, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is your lead. He is the guy that like is. He's your handler for the Pathfinders.
Yeah,
he's your handler.
Yeah,
Essentially.
so I'd say let's just reach out to him.
All right. So Dexter says he will meet you later tonight to go over the details.
Okay.
Perfect.
As we're going back,
which is just going to feed this rumor even worse when people start seeing you with Dexter too.
As we're going back to, because I imagine we're probably just going back to our campsite and then we'll maybe head out from there. But I'm going to like mark trees and make detailed directions to help Dexter and whoever he sends in to deal with the constructs, like to lead them right there. Because while I only have this ability for a couple of days, I am going to use it to its best benefit that I can.
Sounds good.
And make the most fastidious notes I can.
Awesome.
Brian, or Matt, I am also going to help you with this. If you take this link and you go down the left-hand side, it'll give you a list of all of the other automatons in its category.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Including the sharpshooter, which the automaton sharpshooter is really fucking cool too. Which
the construct handbook that has the automatons is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
How many days?
It's literally an extraplanar thing crash, basically the same kind of idea that's for some of the other areas.
Yep.
It just was a smaller one.
Awesome.
So, and literally just destroyed their manor, and they're just, the automatons are stuck in the swamp because machines and swamp and muck, like, yeah, they're strong, but I mean, they're water bogged down
and heavy.
So from going out there and back, how many days roughly have passed?
Monkey Swag says those were the things that were spawned as a channel point redemption in the Eastern game when we streamed it.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Yeah, those things are badass. At any rate, on your way back, you know exactly where the bandits were. You see them ahead of time. Well, you know where they were. Are you going to do anything about the bandits on your way back? And like, maybe they're not bandits. Maybe they're just camping out on the road. Maybe they're guards hidden. You don't really know. But you know that there are people that intentionally avoided you guys.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe we should direct them towards the right path.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm game.
I mean, if they are ne'er-do-wells, maybe we can convince them to be do-wells. Or if they are kidnapping and waylaying people, well, then that should be stopped.
Yeah.
And I think that we're in a place to do it.
So are you just going
Okay.
to walk up to them, or are you going to like sneak up and see what they're doing, or what is your plan?
I would like to sneak up to see what they're doing.
Okay.
May I suggest, since I'm loud and boisterous anyway, maybe I can be the distraction and be kind of out in the open, since I'm got the big wings and tend to stick out.
Yeah,
And then if you
you, the
guys,
Wagon, Quinton, and Wyndon.
Winston.
how
and,
does that sound?
Yeah, Quinston and Andalek, and me and you,
Yeah.
Matt, can sneak either up on either side.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, get out of here.
Did Toivo know Pathfinder sign, or only when I cast my spell?
Ooh.
I think only when you cast the spell.
Okay, I'm gonna cast the spell then, and give Tango or Tango knows it, but give Toivo Pathfinder sign.
Yeah.
Because this way
Are
we
you going
can
to give it to
communicate with
Quinston?
him.
You're going to give it to Quinston as well?
I might as well give it to everyone that doesn't have it.
Yeah, it's just
right
Quinston
now.
is the only one who doesn't have it.
Okay.
Because Quinston is not a Pathfinder.
And then, yeah, I will stealth. I will have Tango like riding in his pouch right now, so he can get out later.
Right. Nick is changing his thing to the one that gives him a +8 on stealth. Him and his
That
cat
makes
will get a
sense.
+8. So,
A 35 for me.
yeah, you're fine. And they're above what the DC is going to be to sneak up on them, so I'm not even going to have them roll.
Okay.
So yeah, you and Tango stealth up on one side. Nick and the cat stealth up on the other side. And you get there before Matt, or before Brian and the cart starts to approach, and you literally hear them say, "Oh, it's those Pathfinders again. Yeah, let's just let them pass. We don't want any trouble with them." And one of them's like, another one says something along the lines of like, it's bad when the Pathfinders have become more of a challenge to deal with than the nobles of this country. And then somebody else is like, well, it depends on the nobles. I don't see you going after the new Count of Versex when he comes through. And they're like, yeah, that's because he killed like 30 monsters in a night when he was a kid, and he's only gotten older and stronger. And one of the other guys goes, yeah, I heard he went on some like mythical path with one of these guys' friends to some other dimension in the universe. They're like, that's just bullshit. There's no other dimensions in the universe.
As he says that, I just want to like walk into the clearing where they are.
Okay.
Like, well, you know that's preposterous, right? I mean, you live next to the world wound. It was literally a portal to other dimensions, allowing demons to come through.
They stop and they turn, and like you can hear their heart beat, like, hey, go like it's going a million miles an hour, but at the same time stop. Like, oh, it's like when somebody's like, you get out of here or I'll kick your ass. All right, kick my ass. And then they're like,
So I think you're thinking about this all wrong. You are trying to figure out how to waylay people and steal their goods, which the downside is eventually the guards or the Pathfinders or paladins of Iomade, as I kind of like touch my symbol to make it glow,
okay,
are going to take some offense to this. But right now, everything's hearsay. I haven't seen you commit any crimes. Now, you could use your skills to help guard the roadways. You could find people that are trying to hurt others and stop that. In fact, funny you say it, but Lord Mordock is in fact looking for people to stop the highwayman problem in his part of County Versex. I, being in a, well, friend, I guess you could say, of his, could write you a letter of introduction, allowing you to change your fortune, find yourselves on the side of law, be able to build roots, find a family. In fact, I think, and I look around, are any of you married? Do any of you have rugrats at home? I know that he is giving houses away, homes, to those that will work for him in areas that his city is lacking. If you don't want to hunt highwaymen, if you want to become a farmer, a miller, a fisherman, he has homes set aside to help you better yourself. Why let someone from the river kingdoms come in when you look like you're all very hard workers, trying to better yourselves, can do so for someone that will reward you with something that you may never have, property, a home, and a future for your children and your children's children.
Roll a diplomacy. Also, no perception needed. So the crowd of guys on the other side of the street that are on the other side that are just kind of watching this as the cart approaches, like they're all watching, and they're also on the other side of the road listening to what you have to say, Matt, because they see the thing, right? But what's really funny is they don't realize, because, you know, like they're leaning on each other and stuff. They don't realize that Nick is like in the middle of them, kind of leaning on them as well. They haven't even realized it's him yet because they're so engrossed listening to what you're saying.
I want to surge as well before I roll, because I feel like this is very like bringing them towards the path of law, very like Iowadean.
Yeah.
To giving them this chance at. So I'm just going to add the D8 before I know the result.
Okay.
24.
All right. So the guys that you're talking to up on that end are like, is he willing to let bygones be bygones for people that are wanted? And another guy's like, I look ugly as sin. Is he going to give a rat's ass? Is their city going to kick me out because I'm ugly as sin?
Oh, have you not met him? He's done more terrible things in his youth than probably all of you combined. And as far as ugly, I mean, that's really in the eye of the beholder. He's a dragon person. Personally, that is not attractive to me. There's someone out there for anyone. Plus, I hear that there's the Church of Calistria there. And when you have hard-earned coin, I don't believe looks matter as much.
And Nick's like, yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Calistrians love anyone. They're like, oh yeah, that's true. And then they realize that he's been there the whole time, and then they also see the cat.
Just curious. I know I'm back a ways with the way.
Oh, you approach as this is happening. Like you see them, like they're obvious now.
Are we able to see where they're kind of more or less at?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obvious. You saw them before, so you knew. So like it's pretty easy to figure it out now because you knew before.
Gotcha. Then I'm just gonna like. Well, I'm just gonna kind of, as we ride up, be like, "Well, howdy, folks. How's it going?"
They're also kind of confused because they like you guys are all supposed to be together. Like, how magic trick? But of course, you guys are the legendary Pathfinders.
Yep.
And one of them
Right,
even
all
like
sorts of litany.
so this guy is like the main guy that you were talking to is like, well, I suppose that's spoken like a true paladin. And like he's like, so you must be Thayan.
I don't say anything.
Well, maybe if you can get us that writ, I think maybe the group of us might try that option. We've got just enough coin to maybe survive the trip there.
I'm gonna roll my abysmal survival check to try to figure out. I'm at a +1. Ooh, nat 20 that.
Nice.
How much would they need to try to get provisions and stuff to make the journey?
You can see some of the stuff that they've procured from wherever, and you're pretty sure they've got enough to make it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say, well, if you stop by this town, you can use your money to buy these goods. Like just like redo the route backwards.
Yeah.
Like just watch out for the sailing vessel. You might think it's better, but these sailors are, I think, part fish people. I don't know how it works, but I don't know if it's a curse on the ship, but I wouldn't take the ship. I would just take the land route.
They're like, well,
I think
welcome
they
to
were
Ustalav.
fish people.
Welcome to Ustalav.
Like, not worshipping fish people. I think they were fish people.
Yeah.
Or, well, tomato, I guess.
Tomato. Well, let's just call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
So yeah, they take your offer of you write a letter of introduction for them to Mordok, asking Mordok to help them find a place of work, whether it's guards or other local jobs in place of a new home and a new start, and maybe if they prove themselves a pardon.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna put in you owe us, you dumb bitch, at the end?
No, I'm gonna say, because I think this is like towards the path of like forgiveness.
Okay.
We are even because of this.
Okay. All right. So you write a letter of introduction for them. And they each, like, because they can't all write. So they, like, all the people that are interested give you a name to add to the list of names.
Yeah, and then I'll, if any of them are married, I'll also put like their spouse's name. Because like I like the idea of like if any of them are married to be able to like send like a family unit, because they have a lot of empty houses in that town.
Right.
If they can get it in with not just like bachelors, but like people.
And the fact that you're taking away some of the bandits to go help fight the bandits.
Yeah.
And the best part is they might be like, we're turned. Well, we know the people in this crew. Maybe we can convince them to whatever as well.
Yep.
And that's how you create a thieves guild in Mordok's town.
That's how you create a thieves guild in Mordok's town.
Hilarious.
What are you doing? Well, what are you doing with all the criminals you run across? We're just sending them to Mordok's town. We're just sending all the kids. It's Alcatraz. This is what is Thrushmore? Well, in the real world we call it Australia, but today it's Thrushmore.
Love it.
And what are they going to do? Get angry and fight Mordok? I mean, come on. He'll just eat them.
It's true.
Yeah. I can't fault you on that logic.
Great. You're welcome. Speaking of, Mordok currently in the YouTube chat. So, you narrowly avoided the CR-20 automatons. And bandits taste great with mead. Oh. Wow, what a pairing. It's because they live off the land and like they're in the woods and stuff. So like, you know, they've got
like having squirrel.
They've got that gamey taste to them. The bandits do the gamey taste.
Yeah.
So you spend the night and end up back in Caliphas. Add enough capsaicin, nobody will notice.
Oh.
And by capsaicin, he means breathing fire, even though he's not breathing fire type dragon anymore.
Or pooping the fire.
Pooping the fire. Yeah, that's afterwards. That's after you yell the capsaicin.
That's fair.
So you kind of enter in the north from the northwest portion of town. Kind of up in this area is, you know, because you have to get out of town to the direction that the thing was. So where do you end up going? It is day, you get back basically a second day later. 2 nights have passed. You've slept 2 nights, which by the way,
so I believe I have about 8 days left.
You have 8 days left of your unerring direction sense.
Yes.
You both can roll a sense motive as you come into town.
That is gonna be 31.
And Matt got a 28. You realize as you approach town that like people are like clearing out of the road for you guys as you approach. And like you hear like some of the vendors that are like, you know, calling out and like selling their wares and stuff. They're like yelling discounts for the you know, whatever they'll name one of the random Shadow Lodge character names. And they'll be like discounts for, you know, friends of, you know, for the Pathfinders so and so, because they don't know which ones you are. They just believe that you are one of them, but you're not really sure which ones because you don't really match the descriptions as much, but you match some of them enough. And rumor has spread over the course of 2 days
that we're here.
That they're you. So a lot of the townsfolk believe you are members of the Shadow Lodge crew of Pathfinders.
Oh, that's
funny. They think that you are part of Riley's like adventuring crew. And the fact that like some of the things you guys have said, you know, like, yes, you know Riley. You're friends with Riley. You're here with some of Riley's people. Why wouldn't you be?
Technically, we kind of are some of Riley's people right now.
Yep.
It is at that point in time that you realize where the mistake is. And that they literally thought, like, they literally are thinking. People are literally believing that you're like Penrod, Mordock, Riley, Dexter, Devlin, Cleo. Obviously, there's no female, so I can't name any of the Cleos. Balder. Like, they think that you're part of that crew of people.
Okay.
They just don't know which ones you are.
Yeah.
So they just are picking random names.
I dig that.
So in situations that it matters, you guys get bonuses. Bonuses on like checks where it applies. Now you also get penalties on checks where they might apply, but
yeah,
nice. I just think we go knowing this, I think we go get our appointment set with the Countess. Having that name backing us up might help us to get her to go and play nice.
Right. Well, and you have Winston at some point over the last 2 days, hopefully has made an appointment.
Oh, has done that. That's right. Yep.
Winston
Yeah.
and Jay.
Yep.
See, Shy made you guys popular. That's true. Would you guys roll Jay and Winston's diplomacy checks?
Yes.
And we will choose who aids who in the endeavor, because they were working together, obviously.
21 for Winston.
Okay.
$29.
All right. So Winston aids Jay. I mean, they're both working together, but as far as the role goes, so a 31 for your crew to set an appointment for you. They are very successful in getting an appointment. Not only did they make an appointment for you, but they made it in such a way where they don't have to set the time until after you get back. You know, so I didn't have to like roll like, okay, I die 5, but if it's the first 2 days, you missed the appointment.
Oh, yep.
Sure.
So it's enough so that they had wiggle room that once you're back, they can actually get a date. So they've been manipulating like the time frames to be like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you on this. Does this day work? Knowing like she's got a party at this time, we'll give them that date because we know that she'll have to say no and, you know, schedule for a different time. So like they're manipulating the situation to go, we have a meeting, but we don't have a date set yet, but we can set a date. We're just waiting for you to get back so we know when you're back.
Nice.
Otherwise, it was going to literally be like a die 4 roll, and then based on how good you went, it would be like you get a 1-day shift, but you did so well you could have shifted any of the 5 day any day, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Love it.
So yeah, you end up meeting back with Winston at the would you guys have set them up in town, or would you have had them keep staying at the Pathfinder Lodge?
Probably the Pathfinder Lodge, because they're both Pathfinders, correct?
They used to be.
And we would probably be able to use that to our advantage to allow them to stay.
Yeah, they've already got a spot there.
Yep.
But it's like if you wanted them to stay in town to do all the stuff, or if you wanted them like on the because you're kind of on the outskirts of town.
Yeah, I think the outskirts is better. But it also helps, like Riley's a Pathfinder. They're staying at the Pathfinder Lodge. Just can help cement that.
Right.
Kind of help sell it all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. So yeah, you meet back with them.
Do you want to start the Riftopian thing?
Let's go do the Riftopia. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Yeah.
Beatle. It's supposed to be giving me a sound.
Oh.
A battle ready sound, but I'm not getting the battle ready sound.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome if at some point they get like a chat integration where like you get a pop-up in chat saying, hey, the battle's ready.
Yeah.
All right. Another battle is set up. I got to get the place of the thing. We're going to go in the upper right-hand corner. Yeah, so I like the game so far. I'm hoping that like we get the ability for like for character progression. Like unlocking stuff is cool, but I'd like some progression so it feels like we are accomplishing something as well. But
Yeah.
obviously it's in playtest. They want to make sure that like the things can fight each other, right?
Yeah, the basics work.
The basics work, the fights work, the battles happen, the math takes place, the game doesn't crash. So there is obviously a long ways to go, but
Yeah, it doesn't seem bad at all though.
no. And considering it's been like a month since they kind of started this, maybe 2 months since they kind of started this, they've come a very long way very quickly for this game.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. So a couple cat rogues up here. All right. So we hide away the big Riftopia. So you meet with Winston and Jay back at the Pathfinder Lodge. The group of you, the whole party, the whole crew of you are sitting at the little lodge area that evening. And they say, we can get a time. The time's fairly flexible. We're just looking to see when. We weren't sure when you guys were going to get back. We can schedule it as early as tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening for your meeting with the Countess.
I guess what works better for her, morning or evening?
Either or.
Either or, yeah.
Is she one of those people that likes to sleep in?
Well, do we know when she's in a better mood? Do we know if there's a certain time that things tend to go better for those that request
She
aid
likes her
from
lavish parties, and usually if there isn't one, she will make them, and those usually happen in the evening.
So maybe meeting in the morning.
So doing a morning or a daytime sort of thing will probably be better for her.
Because it won't be ruining a night of fun.
Correct.
I think we do morning then.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. They say, and Jay, not Winston, Jay's like, all right, I'll go and do that. And he just gets up and leaves. Because for Winston, it's a little late. So to be doing it in a more of a herald sort of manner isn't necessarily like, that's more of a Jay type thing to be running errands.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay runs to go do that. And that's when you see Dr. Trice walks in. Dr. Trice, again, the venture captain of the lodge here in Caliphas.
Right.
He is also the doctor of the asylum next door. You see he walks in and he is chatting with Dexter, of all people.
Hey.
And
like, Dr. Dexter?
They both nod. Like, sorry, we were just catching up real quick. We haven't spoken in person in quite a while. And you see that Dr. Trice is just handed like a stack of files and like reports to Dexter directly to bring back to the lodge. And Dexter just puts it in his bag of holding and they just weep. Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, Dexter, and Doctor.
And Dr. Trice says, yes, I should be able to make it to that class, provided you can send someone to bring me there. And I can be there in the afternoon on the date we suggested for that class on the mental psyche and how to adjust from damages of long-term monstrosities. And Dexter's like, that sounds great. I look forward to hearing what you have to say on the subject. And I'm sure the Pathfinders will learn a lot about that as well. He goes, meanwhile, I'm probably going to be sending some. And he's like, meanwhile, Dr. Trice, I'm probably going to be sending some people to you. I think that there's going to be a mission locally nearby that's going to help out some nobles, if I'm not mistaken. He looks at you guys. A family of fallen nobles or forgotten nobles or something along those lines. And Dr. Trice says, oh, excellent. Just keep me informed and I will make sure to have room for them, whoever they are that you end up sending, if they end up coming here in the first place. And Dexter's like, sounds good. I'll let you get back to your work. I know this time of the evening is important for you on the other side of the lodge. And so Dr. Trice says, sounds good. Thank you. Gentlemen, if you need anything, just let my second in command know. We will get you whatever you need for your meeting. And Dr. Trice turns around and walks out, and Dexter sits down.
Hey there, boss. How's it going?
Thanks
Busy.
for responding to the message.
Yeah, no problem. I'm in Ustalav anyhow, so.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
He nods. So what do you guys, what do you have going on? What do you need? And catch me up on all of the things. I guess Mordok says he feels really bad. What did he do?
He sent us to the plane of fire and we almost died.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like him.
And we still give him shit for that.
That's okay. His best friend still gives him shit for leaving him for dead for a year or two. So it happens. I think it will endear you to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So tell me about the creatures you saw. Give me some details on what they look like, what you do know about them, and potentially what you know from what the families told you, and where I can find the families. I'll go talk to them personally.
Say where the families were from.
Okay.
I think we found here in town. Something that crashed into their house. It looks like 3 automatons.
Okay. Well, usually with automatons comes other things.
Yeah. We know that they have the ability to heal themselves. They have a component core that we're assuming is damaged because they haven't been able to fully.
It looked like they were also damaged.
Yes.
All right.
So they're not healing properly.
Which is probably good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, well, I'll maybe send a message to Devlin and see what kind of information might be there and what other kinds of things people will find, and then we'll pick some people to send in there to take care of it in a matter that we can to help out. I mean, getting another noble family on the side of the Pathfinders, no matter how minute, especially right now in the current times of Ustalav, might be beneficial.
Even just getting access to the automatons and what they can do would be good to know.
For sure. Any
Something
kind of
that's
mechanical
not seen
stuff.
outside of, Numeria often.
Correct, and depending on if they're magical automatons or clockwork automatons or just basic constructs that look like automatons, you just never know exactly. But
Exactly.
But master automatons, I think those are extra planar in origin, from what I understand. So probably directly from Axis or somewhere of that nature. But they also do lots of other work for other beings, so we'll see. We'll see what's in there. We'll find out. I'll let you know. He's like, you got a map you said you drew up for me? Brian, because you said, Brian, you got details.
Oh, yes. Sorry. And I give all the details.
Okay. Excellent. He takes that information. He replenishes your scrolls for contacting people. He says, is there anything else you guys need while I'm in town? I've got a few other errands to run while I'm here.
Nothing that I can think of.
All right. Will do.
Yeah, I think.
Rumor has it you guys are on the watch list for some not so nice nighttime folk. And he goes like this. He's like, so just be careful when you're out at night.
Thank you.
He nods.
Roger that.
And he nods to Quinston and Andalek and Winston. And it's nice seeing you gentlemen again. Take care. And he turns around and he walks out. And Quinston, the gnome, looks at you guys and looks around, and Quinston goes, how does he know who I am? I'm not a Pathfinder.
He knows lots of things.
He's very well connected.
Have you ever worked with other Pathfinders?
Not really. I was really good at friends and adventuring party with Mordoc's wife when she was young. We were there when Tree Razor took his foothold.
Oh,
wow.
We almost died.
Well, that
does,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about the Tree Razor thing much. I lost a lot during that time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to either.
But I got you guys, and you guys are awesome. Hey, I'll go get some drinks since we're going to be hanging out for the night. And he runs off.
Yeah.
A couple hours later, Jay returns, and he says he's got you guys for about an hour prior to noon.
Awesome.
Okay.
To meet at the estate with the Lady Caliphvaso.
Excellent.
He says that her nephew and some other nobles who may be invited to the wedding may also be there. He also says that she is well aware that you are not the Pathfinders, that everybody is mistaking you for.
I mean, to be fair, we never said we.
He's like, I know, but just so you know, she knows. So
Gotcha.
don't try to use that. And she might pretend like she doesn't know, but she does know because you rolled a 40 on their check.
Yeah.
So he was able to get some information out of the deal. So trying to manipulate her with that or utilize that to your advantage won't work.
Good to know.
Yeah. I was surprised you didn't. He's like, did you ask Dexter about her? Maybe he had some information on her.
Nope.
I asked Nick was curious.
He did not.
Yes, Nick was like, you got Dexter right here. He could give you all the fucking stuff. There's nobody more. Like, you would have gotten so much help.
Yeah.
And that's literally my response is a pregnant pause and then shit.
And Winston is like, oh, I didn't even think about that. It's funny that you've got Quinston, who is a gnome, and you've got Winston, who is a halfling. Winston, and one just is Winston with a Q.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well. Oh, well. Is there anything else you guys want to do? You have you have the whole night and most of the day tomorrow to prepare for this meeting.
Honestly, I think maybe just getting some rest, getting cleaned up.
Yeah, Nick's definitely going to take a bath.
Yeah, I think we definitely have to look proper for this.
Yeah,
Sounds
we'll
good.
want to look good for this.
All right. Do you guys have like fancy clothes? Like obviously you're wearing masterwork armor and stuff, but there is a point at which you guys still have to have stuff that's not just
I have
armor.
I go, yes, I do, and I pull a patch off of my Pathfinder greatcoat, which gives me a noble's outfit and jewelry worth 200 gold pieces.
There you go.
I just have an artisan's outfit, so I think I'll go buy a nice outfit.
Nick's like, I think I'm going to go back to the Majesty and see if I can get an outfit from them. Since we're already established there, they're going to recognize us.
I agree.
So Nick's going to go and drop 100 on a noble's attire.
I will do the same.
Actually, he's going to drop 200 just to be his gems and stuff too, to look good. So let's see here.
Yay, Pathfinder!
And he's going to get it to match his masterwork leather monster boots.
Nice.
There you go.
I bought 200 gold worth of jewelry as well to go with my outfit.
Nice. I just put Noble's full accoutrement outfit for 200 gold. That way it encompasses all of the things. All of the things.
That is fair.
Yeah, I think so. The night passes, the next day happens. You get your guys, you pick up any outfits you guys have made, because obviously they're not going to be stitching right there, but you're able to be they have stuff there, so they're just yeah, they just retrofit stuff because they're just really good and they do have lots of other stuff and they've got a lot of stuff going on, and you guys aren't spending you're not getting a $5,000 royal wedding gown, right? You guys are just getting something nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys get your stuff, you get cleaned up, shaven, your hair gets taken care of, all of that kind of stuff. Is there anything else you want to do with your next day?
J-Grabble asked me, why can't I stop farting and shitting in my pants? Todd, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like your body might be staging a rebellion. Maybe it's time to take a good hard look at your diet. Less spicy food, more Tums, and possibly a prayer or two. Or maybe it's just nature's, just guys, nature's way. Yeah, of saying you're too happy and need some humbling. Either way, better stock up on some extra pants just in case.
Wow.
Thank you, Al Bundy and Jay Dribble, for the Let's Ask Al Bundy Tangia Redeem. Welcome on in. I'm also not a doctor, so I have no idea. There's a part in there where the AI Al Bundy was like, I don't fucking know what I'm saying. I don't know. Whatever. And I'm looking at the text and I'm like, it doesn't say that. It's missing a bunch of stuff.
I think I want to try to gather some information on the Countess.
Okay.
Actually take the morning to try to learn
all right
a little bit more than we Let
You
me
can
know.
use a knowledge local or a diplomacy to try and gather some information. If you think you want to use a different skill, let me know.
I will use local.
Okay.
So new day, I'll spend an inspiration. $34.
There are lots of rumors that swirl about the Countess. But what you do know is she personally financed the capital, the castle that you were in. She built that from her own family's funds. It didn't come from the country's monies. It didn't come from the royal family's fundings. It came directly out of her pocket. She was the one. She was the one that convinced the king to move capitals here. She was the one that built the castle and paid for the entire thing out of her own pocket to move the capital to the capital city of her county. Now,
okay,
whether or not how much she had in the hand of his final decision, who knows? But from what everybody knows is that when she found out that they were moving here, she offered to make the castle, and the king agreed. And that's the reason why that castle stands out amongst the city, because it was made long after the other remnants of the city and meant to be this, for lack of a better term, eyesore on the city of Caliphas. It is rumored that her nephew is the actual heir to the throne, that her nephew is rumored to be the bastard son of the eunuch king, the eunuch prince. I guess he was the eunuch prince. He wasn't the king. The brother of the current prince, which means technically the heir would go to the son, not to your current prince.
Yeah.
But that is just rumored. There's nothing there. There's also no... The nobles and the people don't think necessarily that she's trying to put him on the throne, but he does have some sort of like sway. Rumors are also that she is also sleeping with him. He is young and impressionable, and he kind of does
sleeping
listen.
With
yes,
the prince, or sleeping with the kid,
the nephew.
Okay,
not the current prince. Yeah, you know for a fact, based on his reaction, he wants nothing to do with her. Hello, Real Care. Welcome on in.
Gotcha. Okay, right. Okay.
So yeah, her nephew, who is supposedly the heir to the throne, people think that they're sleeping together. No, maybe truth, maybe not. No one knows. However, when it comes to finances in the courts of Ustalav, she is one of the richest and one of the most powerful nobles in Ustalav. Period. End of subject. They don't... Is there anything particular that you're like, why is this, or what is that, or anything about her that you are looking to get the skinny on?
Things to help flatter, to aid us in our negotiations with her. Like, she is beautiful, she is young despite her age. Does she like to be complimented on that? Or like things to kind of like soften that armor that she'll have as we're trying to negotiate with her?
She is, from what you learn, I'm trying, like, because there are certain things that like you don't get with your roll. Because it was high, but it wasn't that high. It is hard. She is the kind of person that the pros have a hard time reading in a room. So very rarely has anyone seen her lose her temper.
Okay.
It almost never happens.
Gotcha.
I believe that she doesn't mind being flattered, and that a lot of what people see is literally a show from manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
She will be a lot of who she seems to be is very much an act. She still acts a noble, but she is one of the best manipulators when it comes to the nobility in Ustalav. There's a lot of strings, and not a lot of people know who's on her payroll and who's not. You do know that her personal informants also rival Diaudin's. And the problem with that is that the White Shah building is that's where all the local constabulary is. That's where the local military is. That's where the county military is. All of the county workings are in the White Shah building as well. She's in charge of that because she's the Countess.
Okay.
So a lot of the people that work for Diaudin may also work for her. The information he has, she may also have. When it comes to regards of Caliphas. Now, his informants outside of Caliphas, different story. But as it pertains to the White Shah building, and of course this is where the capital of Ustalav now resides, so Diaudin is constantly having to struggle with that, and that may or may not have something to do with some of that struggle.
Okay.
But yeah, she doesn't mind the flattery. At least it doesn't seem that way. It's funny, they talk about how beautiful she is in all the pictures I saw. I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's in the eye of the beholder. In the eye of the beholder. She has a lot of holdings. It is rumored that she has very that she has eyes wide shut sort of parties at one of her other establishments, at one of her other homes. If you've ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut, she apparently, rumor has it that she has those kinds of parties. And she sometimes will intentionally put on displays to disturb people just to see what their reactions might be and pretend like it's nothing. Extravagant parties, over the top, whatever ridiculousness that she runs across, she will try, she might use for some of these parties, supposedly. It might just be rumors. Nobody you've talked to has been to any of these. But much like the fact of the rumor that she might be a vampire has just as much credence. And there are rumors of her being a vampire. Everything that Rolana Halo put in chat earlier about what she's done to preserve her life are actual rumors you hear.
Sure.
Like, it's an illusion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's an illusion. It's magic. She's really an 80-year-old hag. Really, she's an elf in disguise. Really, she is, wearing the skin of her victims. She bathes in the blood of children. The gambit of all of the things are all rumors about how she stays young. I'm starting the Riftopia battle. She's a millennial. Millennial years old. How does she stay young? Well, she drinks her own pee.
So she's levels of ranger is what you're saying.
Bear Girl's got nothing on her. So, the moment of your meeting arrives. Your cart is taken to her facility, which isn't that far. Like, you have to go past and then double back up around a hill through vineyards, like little vineyards, not vineyards, some orchards. Really well kept landscape. Probably of your time in Galarian, probably one of the nicest kept estates that you've run across. Well kept, organized. A lot of the workers seem fairly happy. The people there in good moods. It is a beautiful day in Ustalav. You arrive and their people escort you out of your wagon and take you to her chambers, essentially, where she is to meet you. She has like a big grand meeting hall in her chambers for meeting established guests. And she literally sits in an opulent chair, opulent room, furnishings. There are couches, and it's kind of like lazing, loungy sort of gathering hall. And of course, she's got this beautiful, gorgeous, giant golden chair. And that is what she looks like. You also see lots of guards, and you can feel almost like there are people that have a radiance to them. There are people that have like a force of, like, they walk into the room and like just there's something about them. It's not necessarily how they look, but like when you run across high level paladins, you can feel the energy in the room. She commands that kind of attention, regardless of whether or not you can even see her face.
Wow.
You can feel the energy in the room shifts. The attention. Like, Diaudin was a little intimidating. But take that and add youth and vigor and strength and a keen mind and a ferocity, an unseen ferocity and an unseen danger on top of everything that Diaudin had. And then add her looks, and then add her grace. It's very much in line with something that you may have felt in the past when running across powerful vampires. It's got that kind of a feel to it.
Interesting.
And she stands up as you approach the room. And she goes, it is so wonderful to meet the three of you. I've heard very much about you. I welcome you to my estate and to my home. I hope you enjoy your visit here and that our meeting can be amicably well. I do hope if there is anything that you possibly could need from me, I would love to aid while we have this meeting. If you would like food, drink, entertainment, please, by all means, let me know. Whatever you need, I am at your beck and call. And we will end it there.
That is a, yeah.
Countess Caliphvaso is where we will continue the Old School 3 on the 23rd of July is what I have on my calendar for those that are watching. Anybody who is curious about our tabletop role-playing schedule from here on out, I have next week, I have the continuance, maybe conclusion of Call of Cthulhu. After that, we will be doing the Stolen Souls, followed by the Claimer's Conquest, and then, of course, the Old School 3 again. So that is our tabletop role-playing schedule for the next 4 weeks. Every Wednesday, we will do more Riftopia. We will be back tomorrow with more Riftopia and more maybe conclusion? Question mark? LOL. I don't know. I'm not running it. I don't know what's to come. Who knows? So we will be back tomorrow. I think we're going to do some more of the Be Kinder Minecraft server world. Maybe finish off the little community build, and then I'm going to run off and start my own home somewhere. Maybe TPK, maybe a TPK for Call of Cthulhu. Who knows? I have a backup character, so I'm okay. But, you know, we're probably all going to die. What's my other character's adventure next? Well, we have a funeral for 5 characters, not just one. With that being said, let us see who is out there, who is available, who is on, who is streaming. I know where we're going to go. I haven't been able to raid this person in quite the while. And it looks like they are role-playing. So if you guys know, very well-known tabletop RPGer, I think she is nominated for, oh, I forget the there's an awards thing, RPG awards thing, and I think she's nominated for a bunch of stuff. I forget what they are. I forget off the top of my head what they were. We were talking about it. But yeah, she was nominated for interviews, for podcasts, for her Twitch stream, I believe, so she's in like 3 categories for the awards. It's an RPG awards, and I can't remember for the life of me what they are. But we're going to go on over. We're going to raid our friend Classic Sam. They're doing Date Night and a Lich. Level 20 RPG D&D with a bunch of other Twitch stream guests. So we're going to go over there. We're going to raid our friend Classic Sam. And thank you guys so much for being here. You can use my raid emotes, your raid emotes, anybody's raid emotes. Just make sure to say hello. And thank you for being here, guys. Of course, thank you to Matt. Thank you to Brian. I appreciate you guys. I love doing this game, and I love playing with you guys. So I'm always happy when we get to do this one. So have a good one. Take care. Good night, everyone.